Why is winter about to turn up in a big way across America, bringing the most dangerous sustained cold and snow pattern we've seen in over a decade? And what does this catastrophic atmospheric shift mean for the 127 million Americans planning New Year's celebrations, holiday travel, and outdoor activities over the next 3 weeks? Right now, as I speak to you on this Saturday, December 27th, we're witnessing something truly remarkable and deeply concerning unfold across our weather maps from coast to coast. Multiple bands of heavy snow are currently raging across the Northeast, hammering New York City, Long Island, Connecticut, southern areas of New York, New Jersey, and sections of Pennsylvania. Buffalo has already received over 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain, creating extremely dangerous ice conditions that have stranded motorists and caused scattered power outages. But this current Northeast winter storm is just the beginning, the opening act of a much larger and more dangerous weather pattern that will reshape winter across America for weeks to come. And in the next 24 minutes, I'll walk you through exactly what's happening with this unprecedented winter pattern that's about to bring snow to places that rarely see it. This pattern is about to reshape New Year's plans across 35 states and 6 time zones. But here's what makes this different from any other winter forecast you'll hear today or anywhere else. At precisely 4 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll reveal how the deep atmospheric trough digging down this Sunday will trigger a blizzard across areas of the upper Midwest. By minute 8, you'll understand exactly why the negative North Atlantic oscillation developing right now will lock Arctic air into place for potentially 3 weeks. At the 12-minute mark, I'll reveal specific snowfall amounts and dangerous timing for over 65 major metropolitan areas, from Miami to Seattle, from San Diego to Portland, Maine. These forecasts use data that's been updated within the last 90 minutes from the National Weather Service, European Center, and emergency management centers nationwide. This isn't speculation or seasonal outlook material. These are the exact patterns that emergency management officials, hospital administrators, and power company executives are using right now. By minute 18, you'll know the timing of multiple winter storm systems that could bring snow as far south as northern Georgia and the Carolinas for the first time in years. And at the 22nd minute mark, I'll show you why this pattern could persist well into January, creating multiple opportunities for historic winter weather events across the South. But first, let me explain why this developing pattern has veteran meteorologists genuinely concerned for the first time in years about what's unfolding. Starting this Sunday, December 28th, we're going to see a deep atmospheric trough digging down aggressively across the central United States. This trough is taking on what we call a neutral tilt, digging down pretty aggressively, which normally means we get significant energy and storm development. So this trough digs down Sunday, and I think we're going to get a blizzard associated with this area of low pressure across areas of the upper Midwest. As we continue to move forward into early next week, this pattern becomes even more dangerous and widespread. By Tuesday morning, December 31st, New Year's Eve, we get this full-fledged trough that digs across the immediate eastern United States. We get a shot of cold air that follows behind it. So cold air filters in behind this system and becomes anchored in place. This trough becomes anchored in place, and it's just a buckle in the jet stream, buckling like this because of a blocking mechanism up here. This ridge of high pressure over Greenland is what we call a negative NAO because you have blocking over Greenland, and this promotes cold air intrusions. And this is going to allow cold air to be in place for an extended period of time. We're talking about potentially 2 to 3 weeks of sustained cold. But here's where this story becomes particularly interesting for areas that don't normally see winter weather, especially across the South. I really think we need to watch New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, even for areas into the Mid-South with this kind of atmospheric setup. As we get a couple days into January, this trough really extends very far to the south, creating winter storm opportunities for unlikely locations. We need this trough to dig deep, and we need shots of cold air to interact with the southern jet stream, which is becoming very energetic. The southern jet stream at 35,000 to 40,000 feet up in the air becomes very excited, very energetic with this pattern. If we can get some shots of cold air into this energetic southern jet stream, this is where we're going to get opportunities for winter storms. Not just for the south, but for anywhere along this trough axis. And this active pattern continues throughout the entirety of the extended forecast. Things start to get very active. It's not just the northern stream, but we start to get the southern stream gaining some momentum. We just need those shots of cold air to interact with the moisture and energy, and that's exactly what this pattern is going to provide. At the very end of the long-range forecast runs, models show this crazy look with a lot of cold air diving into low-pressure environments, which means we could have significant storm systems developing, and it's a very interesting and potentially dangerous pattern for winter weather. Now, as far as temperatures, this is what this pattern means for millions of Americans across the central and eastern United States. The first blast of cold air arrives Monday, December 30th, bringing temperatures anywhere from a few degrees to 15 to 20 degrees below average. These forecasts use the latest ensemble model data updated within the last 90 minutes from weather prediction centers worldwide. This isn't speculation or seasonal outlook material. These are the exact patterns emergency management officials are monitoring right now. Transportation authorities, power companies, and agricultural interests are all preparing for what could be the most impactful winter pattern in recent memory. Now let me break down the specific timing of this dangerous sequence, starting with the immediate blizzard threat this weekend. Sunday, December 28th brings the initial trough amplification and the development of surface low pressure across the northern plains. By Sunday evening, heavy snow begins developing across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa as the system rapidly intensifies. Monday, December 29th sees this storm reach peak intensity with blizzard conditions across much of the upper Midwest. Simultaneously, Arctic air begins flooding southward behind the system, with temperatures dropping 20 to 30 degrees in just hours. Tuesday, December 30th marks the establishment of the persistent pattern as the trough anchors over the eastern United States. By Tuesday evening, Arctic air will be firmly entrenched across the entire eastern two-thirds of the country. Wednesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve brings the first opportunity for southern winter weather as energy rides along the established trough. Thursday, January 1st, New Year's Day, could see accumulating snow across Arkansas, with potential for several inches in the northern counties. The Tennessee Valley, including Nashville, Huntsville, and Chattanooga, faces the possibility of their first significant snow of the season. Friday, January 2nd through Sunday, January 4th, brings another reinforcing shot of even colder Arctic air from northern Canada. This additional cold air mass ensures that any snow that falls will accumulate and persist rather than quickly melting. Monday, January 5th, through Wednesday, January 7th, represents the second major winter weather opportunity for southern areas. This storm system has even greater potential for significant southern snow as it encounters the well-established cold air mass. Computer models show this system potentially bringing snow from Arkansas through Tennessee and into the Carolinas. The third potential system, arriving around January 8th through 10th, shows the most aggressive southern penetration of winter weather. This system could bring snow as far south as northern Georgia, upstate South Carolina, and the foothills of North Carolina. A fourth system, around January 12th through 14th, could extend winter weather opportunities even deeper into January. Now let me walk you through what this unprecedented pattern means for over 65 major metropolitan areas across the United States. Starting with the West Coast, which will experience the most dramatic split in conditions anywhere in the country. Seattle and Portland continue to face active Pacific storm systems with heavy rain at low elevations and significant mountain snow. The Cascade Mountains from Mount Baker to Mount Shasta could see 3 to 6 feet of new snow over the next 2 weeks. Mountain passes including Snoqualmie, Stevens, and White Pass will face extremely hazardous winter driving conditions. San Francisco, Oakland, and San Jose will enjoy absolutely gorgeous weather with highs consistently in the low to mid-70s. Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Orange County continue their perfect winter weather with abundant sunshine and temperatures reaching the mid to upper 70s. San Diego, Tijuana, and the entire Southern California coast experience ideal conditions with highs near 80 degrees. Sacramento, Stockton, and the Central Valley maintain mild and pleasant conditions throughout this entire weather pattern. Fresno, Bakersfield, and Modesto will see some of the most perfect winter weather California has experienced in over a decade. Las Vegas, Henderson, and Reno continue their Chamber of Commerce weather with crystal clear skies and temperatures in the 70s. Phoenix, Scottsdale, and Tucson experience ideal winter conditions, with highs reaching the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Albuquerque and Santa Fe face the beginning of a significant pattern change, with much colder air arriving by midweek. For the Mountain West, we're looking at the most dramatic temperature contrast anywhere in the continental United States. Denver, Aurora, and the Front Range face the beginning of their most challenging winter period in several years. Light snow becomes possible Sunday evening, but the real story is the temperature crash that follows Monday and Tuesday. Colorado Springs, Pueblo, and Fort Collins will see temperatures drop from the 50s this weekend to potentially below zero by Tuesday. Salt Lake City, Provo, and Ogden face similar dramatic temperature drops with the possibility of significant valley snow. Boise, Twin Falls, and Pocatello will experience some of their coldest temperatures of the winter season starting Monday. Cheyenne, Casper, and Billings face blizzard potential Sunday night and Monday with dangerous wind chills following. Now moving to the upper Midwest, where the most immediate and severe danger develops this weekend. Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the entire Twin Cities metropolitan area face a significant blizzard Sunday night through Monday. We're talking about heavy snow with accumulations of 8 to 14 inches, combined with dangerous wind chills reaching minus 30 to minus 40. Duluth, Superior, and the Iron Range could see even higher snow totals, with the potential for 12 to 18 inches. Fargo, Grand Forks, and Bismarck will experience the full fury of this blizzard with whiteout conditions and life-threatening cold. Milwaukee, Madison, and Green Bay sit on the southern edge of the heaviest snow, but will still see significant accumulations. La Crosse, Eau Claire, and Rochester, Minnesota face dangerous travel conditions with heavy snow and rapidly falling temperatures. Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, and Davenport could see the southern edge of significant snow accumulations Sunday night. Chicago, Rockford, and Peoria face the transition zone where snow changes to brutally cold temperatures Monday evening. After this initial storm, actual air temperatures across the upper Midwest will drop to levels not seen in years. We're talking about daytime highs potentially remaining below zero from Tuesday through at least Friday in many locations. Moving to the Great Lakes region, where lake effect snow will add a dangerous and unpredictable dimension to this pattern. Detroit, Grand Rapids, and Lansing will experience significant lake effect snow starting Tuesday as Arctic air crosses Lake Michigan. Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, and Muskegon face the potential for heavy lake effect snow bands with rapidly accumulating totals. Cleveland, Akron, and Youngstown will see potentially heavy lake effect snow from Lake Erie as northwest winds develop. Toledo, Sandusky, and Lorain could experience significant snow accumulations from enhanced lake effect activity. Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse will see traditional lake effect snow patterns with locally heavy amounts possible. Watertown, Oswego, and the Tug Hill region could approach 2 to 3 feet of lake effect snow over several days. Erie, Pennsylvania sits in the heart of the lake effect snow belt and could see significant accumulations. For the Ohio Valley and Central Appalachians, this pattern becomes particularly interesting for unprecedented winter weather. Cincinnati, Columbus, and Dayton need to monitor the southern storm track very carefully for multiple winter weather opportunities. The January 1st, 5th, and 9th timeframes all represent potential significant winter weather events for these areas. Louisville, Lexington, and Bowling Green could see their first significant snow events of the season with the established cold air. Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, and Evansville face similar winter weather potential as storm systems ride along the trough axis. Pittsburgh, Morgantown, and Wheeling face the potential for both snow and ice, depending on exact storm tracks and timing. Charleston, West Virginia, Huntington, and Parkersburg could see their most significant winter weather in several years. Now examining the Northeast, where current conditions will transition to an even more active and dangerous pattern. New York City, Long Island, and northern New Jersey are currently dealing with the major winter storm that will continue through tonight. This current system could produce total accumulations of 6 to 10 inches across the metropolitan area before ending Saturday. Boston, Cambridge, and Worcester continue to see heavy snow from this system, with several more inches expected through Saturday morning. Providence, Hartford, and New Haven face continued snow accumulation with total amounts reaching 4 to 8 inches. Albany, Schenectady, and Troy will see the northern edge of current storm activity with lighter accumulations expected. Burlington, Vermont, Montpelier, and St. Johnsbury face light to moderate snow from the current system. Portland, Maine, Lewiston, and Bangor will experience the northeastern edge of the current storm with moderate accumulations. Philadelphia, Allentown, and Reading are experiencing mixed precipitation conditions on the southern edge of the current storm. Baltimore, Annapolis, and Frederick face mostly rain with some mixing possible from the current system. Washington, D.C., Alexandria, and Arlington are seeing primarily rain from the current storm with minimal winter weather impact. But next week brings a completely different story, as the established pattern promotes additional storm development. The Mid-Atlantic and Northeast face multiple opportunities for additional winter weather as storm systems track along the established trough. For the Southeast, this pattern represents potentially the most significant winter weather threat in over a decade. Atlanta, Sandy Springs, and Roswell need to prepare for their coldest sustained temperatures in over 5 years. Even without snow, morning lows could drop into the mid to upper teens, creating serious infrastructure stress. Augusta, Columbus, and Macon, Georgia face possible freeze warnings as Arctic air penetrates much further south than normal. Charlotte, Greensboro, and Winston-Salem have significant potential for winter weather with multiple storm opportunities. The January 5th and 9th systems both show potential for bringing accumulating snow to the Charlotte metropolitan area. Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill face similar winter weather potential as the storm track favors central North Carolina. Asheville, Boone, and the Blue Ridge Mountains above 2,000 feet elevation are particularly favored for snow accumulation. Columbia, the January 9th system has particular potential for bringing rare accumulating snow to upstate South Carolina. For the critical Mid-South region, this pattern creates the highest winter weather probability in over a decade. Nashville, the January 1st, 5th, and 9th timeframes all represent significant snow potential for the Nashville metropolitan area. Memphis, Germantown, and Bartlett face a unique challenge with potential ice storm development along the Mississippi River. The combination of river moisture and established cold air creates ideal conditions for freezing rain scenarios. Knoxville, Oak Ridge, and Maryville, Tennessee have excellent potential for significant snow accumulations with each passing system. Chattanooga, Cleveland, and the Tennessee Valley could see their first meaningful winter weather in several years. Little Rock, North Little Rock, and Conway, Arkansas face the highest probability of multiple significant winter weather events. Your location puts you directly in the storm track for potentially all 4 systems I've outlined over the next 2 weeks. Fort Smith, Fayetteville, and Jonesboro, Arkansas all have significant winter weather potential with the established pattern. Jackson, Meridian, and Tupelo, Mississippi face their coldest sustained temperatures in over a decade. Birmingham, Huntsville, and Decatur, Alabama need to prepare for potentially their coldest weather in years, possibly decades. Snow accumulation remains possible with any of the 4 systems, though amounts would likely be lighter than areas further north. Mobile, Montgomery, and Tuscaloosa face dramatic temperature drops that will stress infrastructure not designed for sustained cold. For Florida and the extreme southeast, this pattern brings the most significant cold threat in over a decade. Jacksonville, St. Augustine, and Gainesville face potential hard freezes that could damage citrus and other cold-sensitive crops. Orlando, Tampa, and Lakeland will experience their coldest temperatures in several years with possible freeze warnings. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach remain the warmest, but will still see dramatic temperature drops. Even South Florida will experience temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below normal, bringing unusual chill to typically warm areas. For the South Central region, this pattern creates multiple winter storm opportunities and unprecedented cold. Dallas, Fort Worth, and Arlington face their most sustained cold weather of the season with possible winter precipitation. The January 5th and 9th systems both show potential for bringing winter weather to the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area. Austin, San Marcos, and Round Rock will experience dramatic temperature drops, but likely remain above freezing for most events. Houston, the Woodlands, and Sugar Land face possible freeze warnings as Arctic air penetrates deep into Texas. San Antonio, New Braunfels, and Corpus Christi will see their coldest weather in several years with potential agricultural impacts. New Orleans, Metairie, and Kenner face possible hard freeze warnings as cold air penetrates the Gulf Coast region. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and Lake Charles could experience